Welcome to his house, where we gon' run our mouth, while sipping pearl tea, yeah, that's on me. What's up, my pearl teas? How you doing? How you living? If you're part of the pearl teas, welcome back. If not, we'd love to have you, okay? Yeah, that part. So we're here to talk about space, Space Force, space teams, and all that above. All right, so space is one of those paranormal things that you may hear about, you may question about. So, paranormal is, dang, I need to look up the definition, but paranormal is peculiar, like the topics that people think are taboo, that may not believe in, that may not talk about. It's kind of one of those topics. So, for a while, sorry, due to the fact of seeing like movies like Men in Black, seeing sci-fi movies, and um sorry, which deals with science fiction and stuff like that, I have kind of been curious about paranormal activities. Then you hear stuff about ghosts and all this stuff, all that deals in the paranormal world realm. And a lot of people will argue that and be like, oh, that's fake. Oh, that's not real. This, and that. I'm a person, I like to find out for myself. Like, I like to research things. I like to, do my background checks, hear interview stories, and see for myself. And I feel like I am a person who has dealt with paranormal things. Or feel like I've seen paranormal situations. So I guess that's one reason why it makes me want to go deeper and delve deeper into paranormal things. I'm a believer that paranormal things do exist and a lot of people don't see them. I feel like it's about if you do want to see them, maybe they'll show up or if you're open to it. And I feel like they have like a respect thing. Like if you don't want to see them, they're not going to show up. But a lot of my paranormal experiences happened when I was younger. As far as, and with kids, we have big imaginations, and a lot of people like, oh, you just imagine that, you didn't really see that. And I could have very well much not have seen some of the stuff that I think that I saw. However, I feel in my soul that I did. And so I do believe the paranormal world does exist. So with that being said, I've, done my research and my study on different things. And one of the things is aliens. And you hear aliens sightings, spaceship sightings, what is it, Area 51. You hear about them, they're coming to Earth and the military is supposed to have them housed and they have interviews and stuff with them. I've heard stories about they interact with major policies in the government. I've heard so many different stories, I've heard some people say they've had bad experiences with them, just like people, some of them are good. I've heard that. I've even heard stories, basically that they're here with us now. Like they can look human and you would not even know. And supposedly they have several different races of alien species, from those that look like monsters to those that look like the ones that we see with the eyes, to people. Some of them look like people. So with that are more angelic looking. And since the fact that we hear about heaven and heaven and heaven on earth is supposed to be up in the skies, it makes me wonder what's up there. So much so that people have done space exploration for years. They try to get a rocket up there and this and that. Me, I'm the type of person, I feel like I would never want to just go up in the clouds unless I felt like something was up there. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like maybe it is something up there that or maybe they had experience with something up there that made them want to go up there and explore. Because me, it's no way that I'm going to be like, oh, I want to go past the clouds and see what's up there. Because I don't really see nothing in the sky but birds, clouds, planes. So I wouldn't expect nothing to be up on the other side. So the fact that there's been people venturing out to see what's next or what's out in the outer world, outer galaxies and stuff like that, makes it really plain that there's in fact people, especially in the government, who believe that there's life outside of Earth. Because why else would you want to travel to the unknown? And especially with so many failed attempts. When we have this beautiful planet, this beautiful world, and if we're the only beings here, the only existence here, why would you just want to say, oh, I want to get on a rocket ship, spend thousands of taxpayer dollars or billions of taxpayer dollars and try to see what's next? It makes me feel like, well, maybe there really has been encounters with the government, because you hear stories a lot. They even have this theory that there's tall aliens, and some people have said recently that they've seen sightings. I've heard stories about looking online about tall invasions or tall species threatening. And there's even a very, very tall door, allegedly, at one of the offices in the Capitol. Allegedly, like a door that's like 9 feet to 10 feet tall. And it's latched to where only a tall person can open it. Allegedly. You'll see pictures of it from time to time on news and different activities. It's like this huge door. So it lets you know that maybe they have been visited by tall beings. And you may be like, well, tall people were here, giants existed before. Yeah, that's true. But at the same time, they weren't here when we had our capital. They weren't here when we went to Washington. They weren't here. They were supposed to be here before we got here. So the fact that they have this tall door in the government, officially, allegedly, that's really heavy, that like it would probably take several people to open it. You know, like one of those. It's like supposed to be huge. It's no reason for a 5-foot person or a 7-foot person to have to go through a door. Oh, I said 9 feet. Oh, I'm tripping. It must be like 40-50 feet tall. It's not what I'm trying to say. It's like the size of like 10 people. It's not like the height of one of us, if that makes sense. So I said that wrong. It came off wrong, because a 9 feet door, yeah, I'm sure that can happen. But no, it's supposed to be like big. Yeah. Okay, so, and there was talk that it's a certain country that people say that helped rig the election, allegedly. It was some tea spilled that they seen some tall people recently, and they was like told a certain something, like there was, I would say, information that I would be concerned about, very much concerned about. Because they was like given an ultimatum, allegedly. And the person who came out with this information went missing, allegedly. You know, and they were worked in the military over there in said place. And they was put on leave before it happened because they wanted somebody to know, allegedly. So with that being said, let's go back to the fact that Trump said before he was taken out of office that he wanted to create a space force. Like, he was really going to hire people like the army, the military, and stuff like that. So I'm like, I have been believing that these things exist. But the fact that you would come up with a space force, I feel like there's an imminent threat, which I do feel like there is. Because just like people and just like animals, sometimes you're going to encounter things with good personalities, bad personalities. Same thing with paranormal, I feel. So I feel like I want Trump back in office just to find out why we need the Space Force. And if we do need a Space Force, let's get this thing moving. Let's get this thing active. Because allegedly people are seeing more and more things that don't make sense. Allegedly people, some of these entities are not here to play, allegedly. And I'm just like, let's tell me more. Like, what do we need to do? What do we need to say? Because I feel like we could coexist, because I feel like if they've been here, they're here. Like, I don't really feel like it's a problem, but I feel like the problem comes when, because they're supposed to be here. The problem comes when people are not or rules or governed in a way that they don't feel comfortable and they want to do their own thing. That's what the problem is. So you have to come to an amicable solution. So if we need a face force, let's get this up and popping, because since Biden has been in office, I haven't really heard anything much more about it. But Trump made it like a big public thing, and I feel like people need to talk about it.
Well, peeps up for tea, and that's on me. All is allegedly, that's per tea. They say that we purty, you like when you do them dirty. It's so thirsty, sipping that purty. Per tea, it's so freaky dirty. Body getting bigger, like stick figures.